Hi guys, Ranked TFT will be out in about a week. I know you're just as excited to play in it as I am, and I want to give you guys my 5 tips for climbing the ladder. My first tip would be understanding what the strongest team comps are in the meta. You should know the 3 openers for them and the 3 in-game compositions and what they look like. There's tons of websites out there that you can actually look at. One of the ones you can use is Mobalytics. There's like TFT Tactics. There's a bunch of different websites, and I even have a listing on my Twitch channel as well if you just want to do that. But you should know like at least what the 3 strongest team comps are, so you can kind of have an idea of what you're aiming to use in every single game if you actually want to climb the ladder, because you want to be playing the strongest stuff possible, obviously. My second tip would be that you need to know how to successfully scout to see who is running these team comps. If everybody is going for a 6 sorcerer comp and nobody's going for like an Imperial comp, that means Draven is going to be wide open later in the game. So successfully scouting around the map and looking and seeing what everybody is going for is going to leave you a lot more open to getting those units. Like, you don't want to be the guy that's stuck trying to hard hunt for that last Draven to get that 2-star Draven when half of the lobby is trying to go Draven. You can actually avoid this by scouting around the map and seeing if other people are actually trying to take your units, and then knowing that that particular team comp is not open, and you should go for one that is less contested. So once you know what the strong team comps are in the game, you need to understand when they are actually strong in the game. Most comps usually do come online around like 7 or 8, but that's not really true for all compositions. A great example would be something like Ninja Elementalist that has different power spikes. Ninja Elementalist is a composition that has a massive power spike when you obviously get your ninja buff in with all 4 of your ninjas. And then it has another big power spike when you actually get your Elementalist and you get that beefy front line. So this is a composition that can actually spike really, really hard at level 6, and is generally rerolled for at 6 until you can actually get, all the full combo of the elementals and the ninjas, and then you can go to level 7. So because of that, you actually change the pacing of the game, and you speed it up because you're going to be doing all your rerolling on level 6, and that's when you're really going to be like power spiking and putting a threat on other people. Whereas you could have like another team comp, like the 6 sorcerers composition, which obviously doesn't come on until you have all 6 sorcerers and you have your locket. And generally 2 of the latest sorcerers in the composition are Aesol and Karthus, which are an epic and a legendary unit, which are not very easy to get rolling 4 on 6. So maybe this composition spikes a little bit harder on level 7. So just understanding these little nuances to what team comp you're playing, and like when you're going to be strong in the particular game based on the team comp you're playing, and knowing when to reroll based on that, is all going to help you actually understand just the kind of like pacing that you have in the game. So these next 2 tips kind of go hand in hand. It's basically scouting and understanding the pacing of the game. So in auto chess, there's actually like a very detailed breakdown of the amount of money that each player in the lobby has, the amount of health that they have, and the amount of damage they've done to the enemy players, how many wins and losses they have in their rounds, and then how much econ they have. And then also it has a detailed breakdown of all the synergies they have, plus the units they're using. In TFT, you don't really have this luxury yet. It hasn't been implemented in the game yet. So kind of when you're scouting, you're stuck just looking at the little globules they have on the side to see how much econ or how much gold people have. And then you can also just kind of eyeball and see what units they have on the board to look at the composition that they have. And then you can track their health on the right side. So it's a lot more of a difficult process to actually, go and reach out and pick up all that information. But the information is still just as valuable in TFT as it is as it was in auto chess. So just building a good habit of scouting and looking and seeing what units people have, what builds they're trying to go for. Did they reroll early? Like how much gold they have? You can kind of determine, what kind of really the direction like the lobby is going and how powerful each person is in the lobby is. And then using that information, you're going to be able to just play your hand a little bit better. Like, do I need to reroll early to like catch up and like not die early? Like, can I actually go for a greedier composition and go for like more of a late game thing and power level to 7 and try to get all my epic units? Not every game in TFT or auto chess is going to be played the same way, and scouting is going to allow you to adapt and evolve to the lobby that you're in. And it's important to understand the second point of this tip is the pacing of the lobby. And I can't stress it enough. Like, I see so many YouTube videos and other streamers talking about like, what this is how you should play your economy, like so and so, or like if you don't like reroll at level 5, you should try to get to level 7 and roll for epics. Just going into the game with a binary mindset where it's like I'm gonna play the game this way, and you know it's gonna be like this is pretty much the worst habit you could ever have when you're playing a econ management game like this. You have to adapt to the lobby that you're in and actually play the game out that way. Because like let's say that your comp does come online at 7, but all the lobby re-rolled, you know, at level 5, and nobody has any gold, right? Your plans are gonna have to change, and you're gonna have to actually be like a lot more aggressive at re-rolling on level 6. And just understanding those little nuances goes a really, really, really long way in this game, and that's actually what's gonna set apart the best players from the players that have a real difficult time climbing. You know, I see a lot of people complaining like, oh, there's too much damage in the game, or like I died too fast before I get my comp online. It's just, you know, like the little things like understanding like how much time do you have to get your comp online. So just think about all those little factors. So the final and maybe the most important tip I give to you guys when climbing ranked is understanding how the ranking algorithm works. So this is a visual of like how the auto chess algorithm worked. You can see the difference between first and fourth was, you know, roughly a 70-point spread. And the difference between 4th and 5th is a 100-point spread. That means that you're so much more important to get 4th than it is to get 1st. Because you don't want to get that 5th place. 5th place means that you drop down 51 MMR. So this 100 MMR difference is so important. And I cannot stress enough, because there's so many games where you will have, you know, a really bad hand dealt to you when you're playing the ranked ladder. You know, you maybe start with like one item, you get bad RNG, or you like don't hit the rolls that you need for your team comp. That's gonna happen. That's just how it is in a game like this, and any of these RNG games. And understanding how to roll with what it gave you and end up in 4th place is what's gonna make the difference between whether you climb elo or you lose elo. And understanding how to like play for that 4th place position. So what does it mean to play for a 4th place position? That might mean that you have to all in at a very early stage in the game. Like let's say that, you know, you're not getting any of your things, you've been on a loss spree for a long time in the game. That might mean that you have to re-roll like all your economy down to like 10 or 20 gold when you're level 6. Even though that's not what you want to do and it's not what you want to do with your team comp, it might be what you need to do to secure 4th place, because chances are you might like stay alive for a little bit longer than these people down here, you know, 5th through 8th, that wanted to like try to squeeze it out and try to play for 1st place, which is like a very common thing. You don't always have to play for the win in a game like this. You just have to play for top 4. Like aiming for 4th is so critical, and it's going to be the most important thing that you can learn if you actually want to climb ranked in this game. Good luck out there, guys.